it was my first business. I had no idea what I was doing. And I think that was really difficult. At the time, I didn't have the right people around me in terms of advisors or mentors or even friends who were really running companies to kind of lean on. And that's something I hugely corrected going forward. But I think at the time, that was probably the hardest thing.
Is it that thing where you could tell them what's going on, but they wouldn't understand it type thing? Like, do you ever get that? I've had that a few times where like people have always supported me, like so much, friends, family, etc. But explaining actually like the business side, if they don't have one, it's like you don't quite know what that means, if that makes sense. Did you experience that as well?
Oh, massively.
It's what
I was talking to someone about this the other day. I think Stephen Bartlett was talking about it in terms of, I think he called it social shedding, something like that. And when you start a company, at some point you are going to lose a load of friends. It's more like extreme than what you were just talking about. But I definitely found that because until that point, a lot of my friends all of my friends were in very, kind of normal jobs and careers, like I had been in when I was in advertising. But then when you kind of leave and do something, I don't know what it is, whether there's an element of jealousy or maybe it's just, it's just this weird world. It's hard to
I completely agree. I mean, I started my business at 17 and I was bullied for it, like just people took the piss because I was, people think you're arrogant. People think, why would you be able to do that? We're going to university. You're an idiot for not going. You're going to throw your life away. Like people just think that. But I know exactly what you mean. I wouldn't say I lost friends from it. People that would probably took the piss out of it. I weren't friends with them anyway. So it was a bit easier that way. But I do know what you mean because it's a very weird. And on this podcast, I always say, like, I don't want to sound like I think founders are elitist individuals or like we're special. But it is just a very different environment. Like, it's a very different life you have to sort of lead. It's very hard to switch off. It's very hard to sometimes have the empathy you need to have or understand people in the way or, deal with the new challenges, etc. It's not simple at all. Particularly if you're going into it's your first time as well. Like particularly when it's something new and it's a product base. You said we a few times with Fitzy. Did you build a team?
Not really.
Right.
I think I always hesitate to say I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's
fair enough.
Kind of to your point there, like talking about founders. My worry is that it sounds like you're trying to be elitist or arrogant or I hate being there saying like I did this, I did that. But no, it was really just me. Yeah.
Just you. And for you, obviously, you mentioned that you sold it. Why?
I remember so clearly I was skiing with my then boyfriend, his family at the time. And I was just so sick of it. I didn't know how to make it work. I didn't know how to grow it or scale it. And I was just done. I think I was also burnt out. And I was
trapped in it. Is trapped a word you would maybe use in terms of like feeling like kind of like, it's you and it are the same thing. If that makes sense.
And that was actually really hard because trying to think about me not doing it, I was like, it had become so ingrained in my identity. Like I was Laura who ran Fitty. So I thought if I don't do that, like what? Yeah. It was just bizarre.